These are the 20 worst downgrades in WWE history, starting with The Miz and Damian Priest fighting through actual zombie lumberjacks at Backlash.
How do you not focus on zombies, Bert?
I mean, the fans are probably thankful they weren't there to witness this madness during the pandemic, but at least zombie lumberjacks were just temporary. Cause Perry Saturn could have been solid in WWE, but instead they gave him a mop as his best friend.
Make a decision, the mop or me, Perry? Which one?
You're welcome.
And get this, it was apparently punishment for legit hurting the jobber, Mike Bell. How he ever got that thing over is beyond me. But it's one thing messing up talent, but how do you ruin your own brand? The Raw logo went from looking like this during the war era to this corporate Netflix car brand nonsense. And logos aren't the only thing that they butchered. Remember when entrance videos were basically hype packages? Watching those were epic. I mean, as a kid, I always imagined doing my own intro video in one of those warehouses they always shoot at. Now, everyone just has their name that just stays static on the screen. Even John Cena's got white text on a black screen. I mean, come on WWE, where's the creativity? But there's one downgrade from someone that you least expected. Now, don't get me wrong, Chelsea Green is pretty over with the fans and currently is doing well in the WWE. But did you know there was a time that she was an absolute menace? And I'm talking about the time when Chelsea faced off against Penta in Lucha Underground as Reclusa. I mean, that match was absolutely insane. I didn't even know Chelsea had that in her.
Reclusa. Well, there you go. Down from her web, she begins to rain blows down onto Pentagon Dark.
But Penta didn't care. Bro said, these hands are rated E for everyone. And when social media connected the dots between her and that match, everyone flipped out. Even Chelsea.
I did not realize that would, I mean, it got like some traction when it first aired, but not the way it has now. Oh my goodness. It's crazy to see how much like steam it has picked up.
But what happened when a monster downgraded to a corporate yes man? Now, Kane gave us all nightmares for years, but then the WWE gave us corporate Kane in a suit and tie. Seriously, that was never gonna work. Bro literally came from hell. Even Jim Ross asked if he was even human.
Is that a human?
But this? I mean, this ain't it, bro. I mean, I never taken corporate Kane seriously. But things got much worse. Kane actually got fired from his corporate job and downgraded further to Concessions Kane.
How about a hot dog?
Unlike Kane, there are some things that do not even look good in red. And this Hell in a Cell proves it.
Seth Rollins up top now with Ziggler. Rollins, Ziggler, fighting on top of the cell.
I can't think of a single good reason they thought this would work. No wonder Brock Lesnar crashed out on the cage. And speaking of things that make you mad, remember when you could watch a PLE and WWE's ring was clean and sponsor free? Yeah, those days are long gone. Now, it's covered with more ads than a NASCAR track. Classic TKO money grabbing at its finest.
It started with Logan Paul and KSI's energy drink Prime at the beginning of last year. He was sponsoring every PLE pay-per-view, whatever you want to call it. Netflix, Fortnite in the middle. Snickers Cricket, which I believe is a mobile phone service provider.
Yep.
Hulk Hogan's Real American Beer and Riyadh Season.
Even when John Cena dropped his pipe bomb on CM Punk, there was a Slim Jim logo right there on the table, ruining the moment. And this was one of the major things Vince McMahon never allowed, as he believed the squared circle was supposed to be sacred. It's supposed to be clean, man. Too bad Vince didn't keep things clean outside the ring. But another thing that you should never change, a good old-fashioned chokeslam. Big Show went from a move that actually looked like it could end someone to finishing guys with a mid-ass punch. Maybe he thought switching it up would help him stand out, but it just led to him getting decked by Floyd Mayweather. Talk about karma. But you know what's worse than a finishing punch? A freaking bear hug. Mark Henry is insanely strong. He can literally squat a car like it's nothing. But WWE tried so hard to get his bear hug finisher over, and it just never looked good. Even when Brock Lesnar pulled this thing on Hulk Hogan, it looked stupid then too. The move is just flat as hell. Like Carlito's new theme song when he returned to the WWE. His original theme was super unique and catchy. But his whole bad apple thing sounds like dodgy elevator music in a Hawaiian hotel. But hey, if you really want to be cool, hit that like and subscribe button, man, because I gotta tell you about a wrestler who disgraced Japan. And that's when Albert, also known as A-Train, changed his gimmick to Lord Tensai. I mean, in his debut match, the whole crowd was chanting A-Train. And I kind of feel sorry for the guy. Albert could just never get a gimmick to stick, from Prince Albert to Giant Bernard. But Lord Tensai? Come on! And that's because after A-Train's New Japan run, dude returned to the WWE. But Vince thought it would be a great idea to make him Japanese. I mean, they made bro read a script live on TV to even speak Japanese.
Lord Tensai desu. WWE Okine Arashi Kite Koto wa Dekinai!
And of course that backfired, and a month later, Bro was downgraded further as a comedy act with Brodus Clay until he retired. Okay. Now, Triple H has done a lot of good stuff since taking over creative, but Bro also did a lot of bad stuff too, like how the PLEs now only have 5 matches. When there's more talent than ever with stacked men's and women's divisions, too many great matches just get left off the card. And while we're at it, what happened to the backstage storytelling? Half the time, the promos are better than the matches anyway, unless you're DDP. Cause in WCW, the guy was one of the biggest stars and fans were so hyped to see him after WWE bought the company. But instead, we got this stalker storyline that made 0 sense. I mean, he was married to one of the hottest women in wrestling, and we're supposed to buy that he's a stalker now? What's wrong with a freaking People's Champ angle with The Rock, for crying out loud? But I guess sometimes, the WWE just doesn't know what to do with a guy, like Shinsuke Nakamura. Cause after a successful NXT run, his first year on the main roster was perfect. Bro had max aura in every entrance. He won the Royal Rumble in 2018. And got that dream match with AJ Styles for the WWE Championship. But he didn't win the title, and ever since then, he's been totally free-falling. Bro also changed it to a more demon samurai gimmick, but that barely took off. And now Bro's barely seen on TV, but at least he started off strong. And this thing was a disaster from day one. Look, some custom belts work.
I looked at that belt and said, that damn thing just ain't gonna cut it.
But when Cena tried to do the same thing, it just didn't work.
And the most important thing you ever told me was in April 2005. It was a day I gave you my greatest idea. I gave you the WWE Spinner Championship.
That spinner belt was an absolute disgrace. To me, it was something like the Hindenburg, and I'm not overstating this. It was historically as big a tragedy as the plague.
If Cena really does want to ruin wrestling, maybe he should bring that thing back. Just like WWE needs to bring back Finn Balor's aura. Cause as the Demon, the guy was absolutely epic. The entrance alone gave me chills every single time. He became the first Universal Champion and looked like he could conquer everyone who stepped in his path.
Here's the cover, hook of the leg. We've got a new WWE Universal Champion.
But Bro got injured and held the title for nearly 24 hours, forcing to relinquish it to fix his shoulder. After Finn recovered, he was never able to recapture his aura. And now, when was the last time this man won a singles match? If you don't count a DQ against Penta, at the time of this recording, you've got to go back to June last year. Now, you can't mess with perfection, man, but sometimes the WWE just can't help itself. Stone Cold's original Glass Shatter theme was absolutely iconic. The second you heard it, the crowd exploded. But when he came back from injury, the Disturbed version was actually solid and matched his more intense character perfectly. But then, after turning heel, he switched to this new track that had 0 impact whatsoever. Now, don't get me wrong, heel Austin has some incredible moments. From the crazy scenes with Vince,
You like it, don't you?
I can't believe you did this for me.
to the Kurt Angle milk truck incident.
Oh my God! That's milk!
But this theme song is not one of them. I mean, thank God he pretty quickly changed it back to the original badass version. But I hate to say it, but we're probably not going to be mad when Seth Rollins finally drops his visionary gimmick too. Cause he used to be a straight up badass. The Architect could fly around, hit insane moves, and his stomp was one of the most awesome finishers in WWE. And Bro was an absolute menace back then too.
What did you just say, huh?
I said I'd bring back the authority.
But damn, you gotta know me better than that. I'm gonna kill him anyway.
But after one live event in Dublin, Ireland, everything changed.
And I go to sunset, flip over him. For whatever reason, I just landed on the instep of my right foot. The doc says, you tore your ACL, you tore your MCL, and you tore your meniscus. So we're gonna send you to Birmingham and get you some surgery as soon as we can.
Rollins was out for 6 months, missed WrestleMania, and lost nearly all his momentum. Now, although Bro made a crazy comeback, it was clear that his moveset was drastically nerfed, and things did not get better when Rollins switched up to a more fruity gimmick, going from looking like he was him to dressing like Elton John every week. And now, he's had to team up with Braun Breaker and Paul Heyman just to be taken seriously. But even Seth's situation doesn't compare to the most legendary downgrade in wrestling history. See, after the Montreal Screwjob, Bret Hart had nuclear heat and head to WCW with all the momentum in the world. But WCW had absolutely no clue what to do with the excellence of execution.
The Monday Night Wars would ensue, and you would go down to WCW, and they didn't know what the hell to do with you.
His first match wasn't even a match. He was a special guest referee for Eric Bischoff versus Larry Sabisco.
I should have worked with Hogan right away. I should have had Hulk Hogan in a sharpshooter and done some big numbers with him, and it was red hot.
Instead, WCW fumbled the bag completely. Sure, he eventually had matches with Hogan, Sting, and Goldberg, but the whole run was a massive letdown. And then that Goldberg kick ended his career way too early. Talk about going from the best there is, was, and ever will be, to being completely wasted by terrible booking. Now, what are some other ridiculous WWE downgrades you could think of? Let me know in the comments. But what's not a downgrade is this next video right here. Just click right here, and I'll see you in a few seconds.